Hello my fellow Tamrielites, welcome to the channel or welcome back. Update 41, the Scions of Athelia DLC, drops on March 11th and it brings us 2 new dungeons as well as a bunch of other fun stuff. Here is every single new reward available in the Scions of Athelia DLC and how to get them. Before we jump into the new gear from the dungeons, I have some good news for those of you who are fans of the class set motifs as I am. With Update 41, outfit style pages for the class sets will begin dropping in the Endless Archive. When equipped, the outfit styles do create the particle effects just like wearing the armor. However, just like wearing the armor, the outfit style pages can only be equipped by the appropriate classes. In other words, you cannot put the Templar outfit style on an Arcanist. Also note that you cannot use these styles on your companions. In addition to dropping in the archive, the outfit style pages will be available for sale in random rune boxes from Filer Tezzers. As you can see on the PTS, the rune boxes cost 12,000 archival fortunes each, but that may change when it goes live. The pages that drop from the rune boxes are random, but they are curated, so you won't get duplicates. I'm not going to show all the class sets here because I did that in my rewards video for the Endless Archive patch, Update 40. I'll link that in the description if you want to check them out. And with that, let's move on to the gear from the new dungeons. The sets that drop in Bedlam Vale are the Blind Path Cultist motif, and the light gear set is called the Blind Path Induction. I believe I've got footage of the jerkin and robe on this one. I like the glass pieces on this armor. I think it's very distinctive looking. I normally hide my helms, but I do like the covered eyes theme. I may have to use one from this set and let it show. It's definitely different. The medium armor set is called Tarnished Nightmare. I should note that I filmed these gear sets early in the PTS run. I don't think that the bonuses changed, but it's possible that they will be a little different when the patch does go live. I do know of one gear change that was pretty dramatic. The mythic that comes in this patch changed quite a bit, but we'll get to that later. The heavy armor set from Bedlam Vale is called Reflected Fury. I particularly like this chest piece. I think this would be a nice motif for a healer. Please do note that motif pages from the set will not be dropping immediately when the patch goes live, but they soon will be, and the achievements say that they will drop from the final boss. And lastly from Bedlam Vale, we have the new monster set, The Blind. In case you're wondering, the pieces that look like glass can be dyed. The glass parts of the helm and shoulder that I'm showing here are dyed with the Frozen Blood dye. I really like the look of this set. I want to design a whole character concept around this helm, like one of those blind monk tropes, except she's an oracle. And before I fall too deep into that rabbit hole, let's just hustle on along to the Oathsworn Pit. The sets that drop in the Oathsworn Pit are a motif called the Recollection. I want you to do me a favor right now. Say Oathsworn Pit out loud for me. Do you just automatically slur your way through it if you don't try not to? Or is that just me? Because I cannot say it clearly without multiple takes, so from now on, I'm gonna call it OP Dungeon. Good. Glad we had this talk. That was the light armor set of OP Dungeon, which is the Cinders of Anthilmere. See, that I can say. Or give me a nice safe Dwemer word. The medium armor set in OP Dungeon is called Sluthrug's Hunger, which ought to be hard to say, but isn't really. The problem with OP is that I listen to a lot of Mr. Ballin, so I want to say OP Rock every time. And the heavy armor set is called the Black Glove Grounding, as you saw. You may have noticed I'm not saying much about the armor motif, and yes, that's true. I'm not saying much about the armor motif. I will say that while it isn't something that I particularly needed in my life, I do hope it makes someone out there very happy. In which case, I'm happy it brings you joy. And last but not least, our monster set from OP Dungeon, see I'm saying dungeon so I don't say rock, is the Anthilmere's Construct set. Now, I don't feel especially qualified to discuss whether or not a particular set is good, if it's powerful, if it works with this or that build. I try not to math if I can avoid it. And there's a bunch of channels out there already that kick ass at that. You probably already have a favorite. I'm here to help you find shiny things. And, shiny is in the eye of the beholder. Speaking of eyes, no, I'm not going to ask about the parts. Let's go to Cyrodiil. Why Cyrodiil? Because Update 41 also brings us 3 new armor sets that are going to be added to the Rewards of the Worthy reward bags. The new light armor set is called Oakfather's Retribution. By the way, I'll showcase it more clearly later, but the primary dye color that I'm using on all 3 of these sets is the new Artifact Hunter Amber dye that's available in Update 41, but more on that later. The new medium armor set dropping from Cyrodiil reward bags is called Blunted Blades, which really seems like it ought to be a name for a heavy armor set. As a quick reminder, even if you don't PvP, if you like the motif appearance of a PvP set, you can always check Guild Traders to see if you can find one for sale cheap to add to your sticker book. Some of the sets are highly sought after and have big price tags, but most of them don't. And here is the new heavy armor set in Cyrodiil, Bandar's Blessing. You know, I didn't think I liked the new dye when I first used it, but it's really growing on me. It looks really good on leather, and although I didn't think I'd like it on this armor, I really do. It isn't harshly shiny, it's got kind of a matte thing going on. I appreciate that the dye colors kind of have their own textures in addition to the clothes. It's a thoughtful touch. Gives us more flexibility to alter a look. Some of the shiny dresses get super metallic looking with some of the shiny dyes. Which segs us right into taking a look at the Artifact Hunter Amber dye on a shiny dress. And I do like it. It's on all 3 zones of this dress, including the gemstones in the jewelry, and I don't think it makes the dress look flat. This dye is the reward for unlocking the achievement Retribution Takes Time, which is completing all of the optional content in both Bedlam Vale and OP Dungeon. Specifically, Retribution Takes Time unlocks by completing the 2 primary achievements, Maelstrom's Lockpick and Seeking Approval. Maelstrom's Lockpick is completed by solving all 3 puzzles in Bedlam Vale. Seeking Approval is completed by finishing the trial of each 3 lodge leaders. And along the way, I switched over to a costume that has a dull texture instead of a shiny one, so you can see the difference. The last gear piece we have from Update 41 is an antiquity, the mythic necklace called the Torque of the Last Ayleid King. I haven't seen a great deal of love expressed for this mythic since the PTS came out. I do see the appeal of having a one-and-done piece for alts to wear when they run out for sky shards. But I also wondered when I saw it if the last Ayleid King might have lived to pass on the crown if he'd been wearing real gear. I think with this one it either suits a very specific need you have, or it doesn't. If you happen to be the leader of an elite fighting force heading into battle to decide the fate of your entire race, this might not be your best choice. But hey, I already said I'm not a gear guru, so let's talk about the furniture instead. The 2 new dungeons have, of course, trophies and busts and achievement furnishings on the Undaunted vendor. For completing OP Dungeon on normal, we get a trophy of Anthelmir's Construct. Bedlam Vale gives us a trophy of the Blind for completing normal mode and a bust of the Blind for Vet. Completing Bedlam Vale allows you to purchase this Shattered Mirror Barrier piece, which I'm totally going to pretend is Thoat when I put one in a home. As more mirror-related pieces come out, I'm wondering if there will be big enough pieces of glass that I'll be able to construct a labyrinth of mirrors and books. I have big dreams. The Shattered Mirror Barrier costs 15,000 gold on the PTS, and it probably will on the live server as well. And if you complete OP Dungeon, you can purchase the Stately Many Paths Monument, which may or may not have a person stuck inside like Han Solo in Carbonite. You tell me. Cool piece, though. I don't use Orky stuff a lot, but I can see some uses for this one, including using it as the actual monument it is. It is 20,000 gold on the PTS, and will probably be that price on the live server. Unrelated to dungeons, Update 41 will also be bringing us new goldwork patterns on Rala Slalu, so let's take a look at those babies. First up, we have the Alchemy pattern, which is the Apocrypha Light Diffuser stock. I just cannot say enough about how much I love these light diffusers. I've been digging up these small and large antiquity versions as fast as the leads drop in Endless Archive. When I have 3 of each and I can buy them, I will buy a lot of them, and they will go in all of my homes. Good, steady light in a variety of colors, and now, craftable. So yeah, seeing this makes me a happy Zills. Next up is the blacksmithing pattern, and it is this beauty, the Apocrypha Bookcase Platform. Have you ever noticed on the back sides of these are structures that look like optic nerves? So, shelves of books are more as eyes, which, sure, that tracks. I just hadn't thought of it like that. Does anyone else feel like since you've started playing in Apocrypha, the bookshelves are watching you? Is that just me? Well, now at least I know why. Our gold clothing pattern for this set is the Apocrypha Book Press. I totally get it if you are not as amused and fond of the tentacles and eyeball thing as I am, but here's one that we can almost all love. Super sexy little pattern. My new library is absolutely going to have a bookbinder's workshop. I am tickled about this. So let's move on to the enchanting pattern. I kept thinking of it as the eye wall, and it turns out that's actually its name, Apocrypha Wall Eye. The structural pieces in Apocrypha are gorgeous. I wanted them as soon as I saw Apocrypha for the first time. And we moved on to the new gold jewelry pattern, which is the Apocrypha Mirror Intricate. It matches the rest of the Intricate Apocrypha set. Our gold provisioning piece this time is the Apocrypha Sportree, and I am looking forward to making a weird Apocrypha garden. I also love making huge aquariums, and I think this will look right at home in one of those. And lastly, we have the gold woodworking pattern, the Reclaimed Wood Pergola. Also a really lovely and useful piece. I can see a lot of uses for this. As much as I'd like to see an open concept, unbuilt plot of land in Apocrypha as a player home, I think we could do with one of those in every zone, actually. I can see this piece being good in a dozen different themes. The Scions of Athelia patch will also be bringing us 28 new craftable furnishing patterns and... you guys, look, book structures! I'm super happy right now. And an added bonus, glowing green tiles. I want to build a labyrinth or maze so bad. I need a big plot of land. These, by the way, are all purple patterns. I included a quick shot of these in the video I previously released showcasing the new gold masterwork patterns, and I said that they were all purple patterns, but actually some of those big cool structural pieces in that video shot were blue patterns and I hadn't realized. We'll get to those in a second. And check this out. Yeah, they are what you think. Looky. I know, right? I'm excited too. I really did not anticipate getting access to the rolling pathways. I'm going to have to figure out how to set up triggers using EHT again. You know what would be cool would be an apartment inside the Infinite Archive on one of those open space maps. Like, it's a small apartment, but then when you walk out onto the balcony, you're inside the archive, except it's still all your house. Like, there'd be Maligraphies fighting on the platforms below that you couldn't get to because it's a house. But then there'd also be maybe a couple of floating platforms all ready to build on, and then just a lot of open space. Because you know what I need? More housing projects. I mentioned before that I mixed some of the blue patterns in with the purple ones previously, and this is why. These are blue patterns. Blue. It sounds almost accessible, I know. I won't get my hopes up of getting them fast, though. And that brings up the topic of where you can find all these patterns. All 28 of the new patterns that I'm showing you are Apocrypha themed and drop exclusively in the Endless Archive. It makes sense, and I do love running the archive, but that's pretty restricted. I hope that means there's a shot of them dropping in urns as well. The blue patterns also include a door, one that fits in the weird doorway we saw earlier in the purple patterns. And I love those stairs. Those stairs are not kidding around. They will take you where you want to go. And there's a blue pattern that is a large lace platform, which is lovely. Even if you don't want to go full on Apocrypha weirdo like I have, those lace pieces would make fantastic garden accents in outdoor homes too. In our last group of the craftable patterns dropping in the archive, we have the last couple of blue patterns and all 5 of the green patterns. My first big housing project was Earth Terror, and I'm wanting to update it later this year. I'm thinking some of these dark stone pieces will work really well in there. So quick recap to wrap up the furnishings. We're getting 28 new patterns, all of which are Apocrypha themed and drop in the Endless Archive. I, naturally, love all these pieces, and I think that they have a lot of uses outside of Apocrypha. Your mileage may vary, as always. So moving on, the Scions of Athelia patch on March 11th will also open the Gold Road Prologue quest, Prisoner of Fate. Interesting choice of words in that title. Once you finish the quest, you'll get this little guy here. And I really am a magpie, because that is definitely the cutest of the crab pets. I'll bet he'll look cool in one of my aquariums. Update 41 also brings us 2 new mementos, which you can earn by completing both Bedlam Vale and OP Dungeon on vet mode or harder. First up is the Echo Near Examination memento from Bedlam Vale. And then we have the Malakath Helm Haunt memento from OP Dungeon. Additionally, if you do both of the dungeons on vet mode or harder, you will unlock the new skin, the Blood Marks of Malakath, and here is what that looks like. Very intense. I don't know that I play a character who would wear it, but I definitely have friends who do, and I look forward to seeing what they do with it. And because I need a couple more seconds, and while I've got my scary face on, I'll mention that if you like the video, you should click the like button. It feeds the ever-hungry algorithm. Smash like button! Roar! In addition to the new skin, Update 41 brings us a new set of face and body markings called the Unkindness of Ravens. These markings are available from PvP. You'll need 100,000 Telvar to purchase the Siege of Cyrodiil Laureate from a Telvar General Merchant, combined with 50 Siege of Cyrodiil merits to create a rune-bound tome, Unkindness of Ravens. The tome is bound to you. When you open that tome, you will receive both the face and body marking. I really like the back. I might use this one. Have to see how many Siege of Cyrodiil merits I have. By the way, if you've written off Cyrodiil because you don't like PvP, you might not be aware that one of the dailies is just scouting. You just run to the place that is in the quest, if it's at all convenient, to do the scouting and leave. No PvP at all. Yes, it's possible that you'll cross paths with someone who might want to kill you, but if you go to an empty campaign, odds are you won't see anyone. The last type of reward that we'll cover is titles, and Update 41 brings us 7 new ones, each attached to completing an achievement. The title Oathsworn is unlocked from the achievement Lighting the Embers. The title Bedland's Disciple is unlocked by the achievement Unshakable Fervor. The title Pitmaster is unlocked by the achievement Scorched but Surviving. The title The Self-Governing is unlocked by the achievement Lithe and Clever. The title The Vengeful is unlocked by the achievement Oathsworn Pit Champion. The title The Intervener is unlocked by the achievement Bedlam Veil Champion. I like all of those. And lastly, Cake Connoisseur is unlocked by the achievement Cake Devourer. And those are all the rewards from Update 41, Scions of Athelia. But before I wrap up, I'll cover a few of the other updates in the patch. All gear repair kits of different levels will be unified. No more petty or grand or whatever, just repair kits. Similarly, all repair type kits used in Cyrodiil will unify. Siege repair, keep wall masonry repair, keep door woodwork, etc. No more of that. Just one repair kit. And yay for this! Siege weapons will stack, up to 20. So much inventory space. Meanwhile, the Undaunted have decided to be more generous with their key rewards. Completing a dungeon on normal mode will go from 1 key reward to 2 keys. Completing it on Vet will go from 1 to 3 keys, and Vet Hard Mode will go from 2 keys to 4. And that is what we've got for Update 41, Scions of Athelia. I hope the video was helpful, and if so, consider subscribing, liking the video, or sharing it on social media. Regardless, watch time is also love, and I appreciate that you spent this time with me. So thanks for watching, and until next time, may all your loots be leet.